Good morning, everybody. It is BBK Dragoon sipping on a cup of coffee here on a Thursday morning. It's time to recap, because we can actually talk about it, the first MCC test flight. If you don't know, here's the summary. MCC is getting a lot of updates over the course of this spring and summer. One big update in particular that they're testing for to really improve the game. Alongside of that is the MCC Insider Program. It's like a beta program where you basically get to guinea pig these patches before they go live and help the dev team on the MCC stuff, test features, play some of the new builds, give them feedback, and let them know what's working and what isn't working. I wasn't allowed to talk about the first flight that happened last weekend because it's under the Microsoft confidentiality notice, which means I also can't show footage from it, but Sketch did put out a follow-up post, a very detailed follow-up post last night about how the MCC test flight number 1 went. I want to review that with you guys. I want to tell you how you can join the program as well, and what the next flight, which is basically beta patch, what the next patch is going to let you guys experience. So Flight 1 was on Halo 2 Anniversary. They were short little 5-minute games, and the whole point of it was to absolutely stress the matchmaking. That was like the main goal of it, is they wanted to improve the matchmaking speed. The success rate and the time to match was their biggest goals here. When MCC launched, that was probably one of the biggest complaints and one of the biggest problems. I remember, especially on the channel, spending hours and hours and hours trying to queue into matches and having it not work. Now they've made improvements over it like 9 months past the initial release, but there's still issues and it can still take a while to find games, and sometimes it's not successful. So over the course of 3 nights, you could play these Halo 2 Anniversary things. Around 2,150 players were invited for this first flight. I was thankful and lucky enough that I was able to get into it. Those being selected were the most active in MCC in the past 6 months. So if you guys want to ensure probably a higher chance of success of getting in, it might be worthwhile to just boot up some MCC and start putting some matches down. That way you maybe will show up a little bit higher on the list of the active roster. And essentially, they wanted to test the matchmaking stuff, like I said, but they were also testing out. They have a new MCC message of the day, the Xbox Insider Hub, dependencies and toolset stuff they were testing, and then finally just the whole workflow process. So the way it kind of works, if you are selected, you get an email saying, hey, we're doing a flight this weekend. You're invited. Go to the Insider Hub on the Xbox, download the build, and we'll see you at these times. And then when it finishes, it concludes, you get a survey back in your email. You fill out the survey with your feedback, and that's pretty much what it rock and rolls with. So more than 14,000 total matchmaking attempts were done over this weekend. So quite a decent amount of games there. The matchmaking success rates significantly exceeded the Flight 1 goals, meaning basically the vast majority of players were into matches in less than 38 seconds, which is pretty fast and much lower than the average matchmaking number currently. Something I wanted to note that was cool they pointed out here, this test was actually still peer-to-peer. Meaning it was not dedicated servers that you were playing against opponents on. Their goal still remains, with all these updates, all match-made games to be on dedicated servers. When they're all said and done with these updates, that's one of the big backbone updates that they want to get into MCC, is all match-made games on dedicated servers. They gave a little bit more transparency and insight that custom games, among other scenarios, I'm guessing campaign, will be peer-to-peer. I guess I'm a little disappointed that customs won't be running on dedicated servers. I can understand it because let's say they have like huge demand that could absolutely eat up a lot of dedicated server bandwidth, I guess. I phrased that wrong, but I mean, it might just get expensive is what I'm basically saying. Still, back of my mind is thinking, you guys really want to do MCC justice? That might be a rock solid selling point right there. So essentially, you guys can check out this whole giant post. They published the feedback from the survey. They published some of the mentions from the survey about like what they liked, what they didn't like. It was improved matchmaking. The new menu's really cool. I can't show you the footage of it, but I think it was, fun to participate in it. But the next one, the next MCC Insider flight, the high-level goal is to test the dedicated server deployment and ongoing stability work. They're also going to double the pool size. So of those 2,100 people, the next one's going to be 4,000. And anybody who participated in this first flight, you get to roll into the next flight. So you're basically in the program from this point moving forward, which is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it because the dedicated server side of this game I remember very well. Even though when the game first launched and it took hours to get into matches, I remember like Halo 3, you could feel exactly when it was on a dedicated server before they disabled it for the peer-to-peer stuff. And it was only for, I feel like, I'm guessing the first week or two before they had to disable it. It was awesome. It was really awesome, especially if you're like a classic Halo person who remembers all sorts of bad lag scenarios. It's something I am very much looking forward to and was the main selling point for me with the Master Chief Collection originally. So if you want in to the MCC Insider Program, you can click the link in the description below. Anybody can sign up. You can improve your odds to get selected for a flight just by booting up MCC and playing the game some. So good luck to everybody. I hope you get into the next flight. I hope to see you in the next flight. And then once I'm allowed to talk about the feedback from that one, I will keep you guys in the loop. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy these updates, please let me know. I've really enjoyed covering MCC again once, you know, this beta testing stuff has been going on and they've been putting effort back into the game. And fingers crossed that we continue to see improvements and this process goes quickly and smoothly. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll check in with you again very soon.